We are very excited here at CCM Magazine. Really, a CCM Magazine original is joining us here. The Archers are in studio. We're so thrilled to have you guys here.
Thank you.
I mean, we look at this cover that we have up here, some of these pictures. You all have been with us, essentially, this magazine, way before we were with this magazine. So why don't you just give us a little bit of an origin story of how your connection was with CCM?
Well, I go all the way back to one of my best friends, who was a man by the name of John Still, who told me that he was starting a magazine.
So like before the magazine existed.
Yeah. And I was like, that's awesome. How do you do that? And he said, I'm learning. That's good. But yeah, good friends and really great fellowship we had back in the day. So I'm honored just to talk about our involvement with them early on.
That's right. You guys have been involved in this magazine for so long, and I thought maybe I'm not the right person to do this interview because of how long you've been involved. So I think I'm going to tag somebody else in who is going to take over for me, and I'm very excited to join. Come on over, guys. My friend, John Still, founder of CCM Magazine.
Oh my God!
You're gonna give an old man a heart attack.
You stinker!
Yeah,
Hey,
so
Daddy,
special.
founder of CCM Magazine, John Still.
Yeah, just happened to be here. John.
My goodness.
Hey, stranger.
Hey, man. Oh my God.
You were so sneaky. So sneaky. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
How
goodness.
special.
No, he knows all the dirt.
Oh my
we can't have him.
gosh. This is so incredible.
Well, we thought it'd be a fun surprise.
Oh, it's
What an
There I am.
incredible surprise.
yes.
Brilliant, Logan.
This is amazing.
I know. I'm so
Logan was going to do a
flabbergasted.
good job, I could tell.
No question. Well, it's been a minute.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
has been a minute since, here's this picture.
79.
79,
79,
White House.
the White House. Yeah.
Yeah, because Brandon was born 3 weeks before that.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah.
she's 79. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
The year of stand-up.
So, and I'm kind of mad at you guys because after 45 years or so, you haven't aged. I have.
Oh,
Anyway,
not true.
It's
Hey,
just makeup. That's all it is.
You look great, John.
Thank you. It's great to see you.
Your
guys.
wife looks better, though.
Always has, always will.
Just kidding.
You're back with a new live album. Long gap between album releases.
Yep.
What you been up to?
Life, kids, grandkids.
Yes, kids.
Ministry.
grandkids, That's what we've been up to.
Cancer, surgeries,
Yeah.
lots of things.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Want to talk about that?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, here
I
sits our
was-
cancer
I
survivor
was
right
the
here.
first one with 2013. I was diagnosed with oral cancer. Only 30% of the people that have that cancer survive it because once it gets into your lymph nodes, you're a
Yeah.
goner. And so, I was shocked. I mean, I thought I had an abscess, and a veteran doctor who still did the tongue thing, say caught it. He said, I don't like that. What's that? I said, it's an abscess. He said, no, I don't like the looks of that. Sent me to an ENT within 30 minutes. And a week later, I found out I had oral cancer down in the bottom of my mouth. And I didn't tell my wife for 3 weeks because I was so shocked. Well, God is always with us, always guiding, loving us, and protecting. And so through a series of that doctor that found it and the doctor that verified it, I got sent to a world-renowned doctor at Vanderbilt who was able to do a surgery that would allow me to sing and talk again.
Because normally you can't.
Normally, the surgery I would normally get would be a trach and all kinds of stuff, and I would maybe be able to talk but not sing.
Clearly hasn't affected your ability to sing.
No.
Based on what I've heard on this record.
He sounds
And
amazing.
He looked at me. We were sitting there in the kind of the interview exam, and he knew I was a singer. And he said, "Tim, the normal way we do this, I don't think you're going to be able to sing." He said, "But if you'll trust me, I'm just going to go get it." so you can sing. And 8-hour surgery, and he got it all.
Thank
Got
God.
a little piece of my tongue, floor of my mouth, and then lymph nodes, 22 lymph nodes came out, and 1 or 2 of them had cancer. So it was a miracle time for me.
But he's cancer-free today.
Yeah, I'm cancer-free.
So
still.
glad he caught that.
Yes.
So that when we did this concert, that was the first time I sung live after my surgery.
Really.
Yeah, so I'm living, picking up the pieces on this record. Because that was
Many
before-
years as you guys have been at this, there's lots of twists and turns
Lots.
along the way.
Yeah.
How has your faith kept you going?
Just learning to trust, not letting go of, first of all, having wonderful family.
Yeah.
Having great kids and family around you and grandchildren. And, about that from
Yeah.
our fellowship many, many, many years ago. But that's been a source of strength for me, and healing in past relationships, and not letting go of God's word, not letting go of prayer,
Yeah.
and not letting go of the passion to share the gift that God's blessed you with.
Yeah.
I think too, somebody asked me the other day about these songs, and I said, we recorded a lot of these many, many years ago, and I said people would come forward maybe at the end of a concert and cry, and we'd get a chance to pray with them. I said now they come forward, I cry with them, and then then you pray with them. I said because now we've lived so much more life and had so many more opportunities to understand in fresh new ways what the lyrics of these songs mean. I mean, they meant a lot to us when we recorded them, but they mean even more when you've lived so much more life with God and had a chance to really see that, like one of the lyrics on the bridge of Make Me an Instrument, such a beautiful Archer classic ballad that Steve just does an amazing job on. Incredible song, a fan favorite. All these songs on this project, there was a poll that we put out, and all the fans voted on the ones they wanted to hear, so that's what made it to this project, and Make Me an Instrument was one of those songs. But the very bridge of that song says, help me see the good time, the good side and the bad side of all my days. Yeah. And that was so profound to me. Even rehearsing and preparing to go back in the studio for vocal cleanups, I would be singing along with that line and then just stop and weep, thinking about so many bad days that because I knew Jesus, like Steve said, because I didn't let go of prayer or the word, and all those fundamental things our pastor parents instilled in us growing up in a Christian home, and I didn't let go of those things. He did help me see the good side and the bad side of, because I had micro preemies and went through so many things, 5.5 months in neonatal unit, and many challenges they've had since then. And they're both on the spectrum, high functioning, but on the spectrum. I've had so many opportunities to find out that he really does give you a fresh perspective in the middle of a bad day. And you can see the good side of it because you see God in it, in spite of what it looks like. And he just continually has restored hope. And so these lyrics and all these songs have just, we've relived them again, haven't we? It's been so precious and special.
I think you've answered the question about why you chose to do a live album as opposed to a new studio album.
Correct.
So you could bring back these classics.
Yes.
Very much so.
And this isn't an album review, but you sound so much more seasoned on this. I don't mean
Thank you,
old.
John.
Right.
You can say that, it's okay.
And I mean seasoned in the best possible way. You sound mature.
Thank you.
You sound confident. It's an improvement over the earlier live album. You used the same opening song as your last live album.
I know.
Your announcer wasn't as good as that album.
I
No,
know.
because
that's
you were the announcer on that first live album.
Southern California's own.
Yeah.
Archer.
Yeah, Tim remembers what you said to open that concert.
I listened to that the other day. I just had to check it out.
Yeah, same opening.
Melody
It's just such a
Land.
great. Well, we were celebrating still being here, still being able to stand on stage with
Right.
amazing musicians and background singers and just just
and
built it out.
And we forgot to tell Tim Akers to change the keys.
Yes.
So it's all original.
It's all
So
themes.
we're not
original keys.
discussing that because
Those all original, and
we're
they're all
just
meant.
the grace of God got
Were they
us
a little
through.
harder to hit?
Oh my Lord!
Oh,
Yes.
We have
Lord.
God
Some
was
of the
good.
ad libs might have changed a little bit.
So speaking of the musicians and singers, you guys have a legendary roster of people who have played with you. First of all, kudos for being able to even get them. I mean, names people listening would know.
Yes.
It's too long of a list to read off here. But did getting those kind of musicians tie into a personal philosophy you had of how Christian music should be made?
Being preachers' kids, we had the exposure to Southern gospel.
Yes.
His mom and dad would take us to see the Blackwoods and the Stamps and the Statesmen and all those great quartets. But then also, we were allowed to listen to some secular music. And so we enjoyed that. And then, of course, our father, who was kind of a visionary and loved seeing people come to Christ, that was his passion, allowed us to bring the drums and the guitar in the church. And let us do outreaches, and that's how we got started.
His Assembly of God Church.
And Steve and I did a contest test when he was 14 and I was 17 for our denomination, and we took second in the nation. And we got a little trophy. And then we went on to sing with my brother Gary and some of his revival stuff. And from there, we began in my dad's church. And the gentleman who wrote the title song of probably our most popular album, Fresh Surrender, was saved. His life was completely changed in one of those Monday night rallies that we did at my dad's church.
Billy.
And he became our guitar player and wrote a lot of our songs.
Yeah, wrote Fresh Surrender and many great songs.
I think the thing that shocked me going into the studio, because actually the first time we ever went in the studio was with Andre to make a little 45 single. And so we just did 2 songs. And we wanted Andre to produce our record. He couldn't do that. He was too busy, too much demand for him. But he did connect us with the right studio and the right engineer that got us through that first record. But when we started working on our second album, and we're walking into the studio, and through our producers and our arrangers, there are musicians walking in there who are playing on the current secular hit records. And then by the time we hit Fresh Surrender in stand-up,
The one I first sang
guys
on.
that later on became bands called Toto,
Yes.
For me, it was like, well, our goal was to make music for young people that was competitive with what they were already hearing on the radio.
Exactly.
So it's like God heard us,
One of our goals with CCM Magazine was always to try to improve the quality of the music so that it would earn the right to be heard by
Yes,
Yes.
right.
because you can't just bank on, well, it's Christian, so I have to listen to it. It needs to meet a certain quality standard.
Correct.
So good for you guys for upholding that. I'm glad to hear you say that.
And we were always very hands-on with our music. Picking the songs, writing the songs, and doing all of our own vocal arrangements. And then when we had arrangers and co-producers come in, they would work with us. And it was really, we really were hands-on in our music.
Well, and when you're singing about the creator of the universe that had changed all of our lives, we just always wanted to do everything
Give it our
with
best.
excellence and give him our best. And then, let him breathe on it, and being on the West Coast, which is really where we lived when our sound was being developed, and having access, like Steve said, to so many incredible producers, engineers, musicians, all that helped us reach that one goal of just being able to create music that could compete and that was done with such excellence. And then we just relied on the Lord. You got to give God something to work with. So we did, and then He breathes on it.
Yeah. So from 1975, it's now 2025, 50 years later, music has taken a long and winding road. How are you on that road? You're looking, it's not 1975 anymore, obviously. If you want to make 1975 music, it might be good if you're the band 1975, but not if you're the Archers.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about what's going on today, and how do you meet that challenge of staying relevant?
Well, I enjoy hearing the bands that were my favorite in the 70s. Getting to go and see some of those bands that are still touring and still making records. And it's an encouragement to me. It's just like, guys, does anybody care, about this music anymore? But through my children and my grandchildren and their response to, I love it when I'm driving in the car with my grandkids, from the younger ones to the teens, and we're driving along, and they'll hear a current song that they really like, so Grandpa, turn it up. So I turn it up, and as we're going along, I'm hearing the track or the sample from a song from the 70s or for the 80s, and I love going a little bit later after they finish listening to their song that they love to sing at the top of their lungs with. I go, now let me play you where that little sound came from.
Yeah.
And I play them the original, and they just go, what? That's from like when you were making music?
Yeah, I don't think we think of, I don't anyway, think it in terms of how we're going to compete. I think we just the purity of doing the music, the way this record really happened after we recorded it, did the concert, I had a basic track that I had mixed here in Nashville, and I've been listening to the raw footage, the raw tape, and I would pull into my garage, and I would find my tears running down my face, listening to Steve saying, "Make me an instrument," or "Wouldn't be enough," and I went, I'm rediscovering our own music and the power of those songs. Yeah. That's really what brought us to do this Legacy Live, is those songs are still relevant, because they moved me. And you were pretty jaded on our stuff, so that's really, I told my wife, I said, well, we got to make this an album. So
it wouldn't be enough structurally, melodically. That's a hit record. Yeah. I mean, lyrically, because it's so exclusive, because it's Christian, it limits its appeal. But man, if someone wrote other lyrics to it, that's a hit song. So, long road. Any regrets on that road? Things you wish you would have done differently, not done, that you want to talk about?
Well,
many, of course.
Like we said earlier, life happens.
It does.
Regardless of whether you're a Christian or not a Christian. I recommend that you go through those things as a Christian.
Yeah.
Because I think
well put.
Excellent.
Well put.
Eventually, God heals and God restores. He's not just a God of redemption, He's a God of restoration, too. And when you see something restored that you thought was destroyed and could never, in your mind, in your human mind, you're like, well, that's, and it's something that can remain a sore or a bitterness or a hurt. And yet you see God come in and just heal it and make it something that affects everyone in such a beautiful way, in a positive way. I'm just thankful that my parents told me about Jesus and that I gave it a shot.
That's the key. All three of us have gone through healing with each other along the way.
Yes.
I was going to ask you, do you ever fight?
Not really now.
Not really.
Yeah, we're too mature for that.
We've had our moments of
Let's just say there's no ring. There's no ring around us.
Yeah,
yes.
We don't have gloves.
Most families have issues.
We have great sibling harmonies, but you are siblings, and siblings tend to wobble sometimes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Have you ever gone on stage mad at each other, and how did that go?
I could think of.
No.
Not really.
Really?
I don't remember really going on stage ever mad at
three of
because
us,
we love going on stage and singing.
Yeah.
When we sing together, it's a magical thing for us.
Yeah, it's really precious.
I mean, it's like it just falls right into the place.
It's one of the most
and it's
fun.
A joy.
Yeah, it brings all of us so much joy, and it's one of the most fun things
the way
that we get to do
sound,
in life.
Our tenors of our voice mix.
Now being in the studio and recording, that's a little different, because you're trying to get the excellent, you're trying to get the best.
Yeah.
And he has his part, she has hers, and I have mine, and
Oh,
you're going take
a
after
bit.
take, and just when you get yours, then the other person misses it,
I
and
missed
then
that.
the other person misses it, and so at some point you're like going, come on.
But they're not bad though. It's usually
it's a
me
working
messing up.
process,
Yeah.
But on stage, it's just so much.
Yeah.
fun.
I mean,
to
we've
sing
definitely
together.
been through relational challenges because we are siblings, and we've been through life challenges. Whether it's self-inflicted or other-inflicted,
Right.
Other meaning another person inflicted, or if it's life inflicting it. The Bible says Jesus said, "In this life you will have tribulation." My husband always says that's not the verse you want to put on your refrigerator and claim that every day. But God in His grace made sure to let us know that. And the Bible says the sun shines on the just and the unjust alike. So Christians do not get to bypass life's tragedies and crises. I always tell people, you don't get to bypass your humanity, but you get to remember that if you know Jesus, that He said, "But take heart, I've overcome the world." And when He lives in me, then my humanity gets to tap into the supernatural. My natural gets to tap into the supernatural, and it's the difference maker. It's totally the difference maker in repairing relationships and seeing physical miracles that you need, financial miracles you need, whatever you just internal. If you need healing from depression, you need healing from whatever in your life, you can tap into it when you know the supernatural, right? Yeah. So that's been the foundation underneath all of us, no matter what we've been through. And so that's why I think singing these songs all these years later, it's made it even more precious.
That foundation.
Well, that's the thing. The rain and the sun fall on everyone equally.
Yes.
But those who know Jesus have some extra tools.
Absolutely, in your tool belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have weapons you can pull out, right, in those moments.
It's like a supernatural fortitude.
You guys are survivors for sure, but not many artists or groups or bands persevere as long as you have. People are a flash in the pan. They're hot 1 minute and they're forgotten the next. The artists who have 50-year careers are extremely, extremely rare. I don't know if you get a jacket or something, but you're in that club. And I have to give you kudos for doing that.
Thank you.
And thank you.
John.
Thank you.
So what does the future look like? Is there going to be a studio album once you get this one out?
All I would say is I would love that.
I would love that.
Yeah, we would all
Whatever
love that.
We're unanimous about that.
Yes, very much so.
I mean, even doing this record, we really didn't do it in a commercial mindset. We did it because of the music and because we wanted to sing together.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and two, I think part of what we talked about is it was just a moment, and a moment presented itself. Tim's wife, Cynthia, said, "Let's do a concert," and it was a CCM concert.
Her life was changed by this music when she was 15. A love song record. Cynthia, she is a rock for us.
Yeah, and she really came up with the idea, and then Tim and Cynthia
produced
presented it to us, and we were on board with it. But it was also a moment where we could stop. I really remember sitting down one day and going, "Wow, God, this concert and what's turned into now a whole album, a whole project, has really given us a chance to go back and honor you as the God who gave us these gifts, gave us the songs, and then now giving us an opportunity to also honor all the fans and all the people out there that supported us and drove to every concert we did. Some of them would follow us to every concert for a portion of our tour. And just really to honor those who were loyal to the music, but whose lives were changed by the music, and their stories are just blowing our minds. We have heard so many stories. Tim gave an album to a guy, was in Canada, and
Vancouver,
Vancouver.
44 years ago. He didn't have any money. And we used to love to go back and sign records and pray for people and love on people. And this guy was standing there, and really, I could just tell. And he was looking at the record and stuff, and I said, "You like that?" And he said, "Yeah, I like it, but I can't afford it. I don't have any money." I said, "Well, why don't you take one? Let me get Steve a chance to sign it. We'll sign it for you. Why don't you just take that home with you?" And so 40-some years later, I got an email from him telling me, a message, telling me how that impacted his life. Yeah. And I went, okay, now that's what makes me wake up in the morning right there and go, thank you, Lord.
And hearing those stories coming through all of our social media messages over and over and over, it's just an added motivator to say, yep, we needed to stop and remember these songs one more time and how they changed people's lives.
Yeah.
That's the law of sowing and reaping in action.
Yeah, it
You got to
is.
keep sowing.
Yeah, and
You reap, it might be 40 years later.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it sows back
Right.
into you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sows back into you.
Yeah.
He made my day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? So,
And that happens
amazing
all the time.
family legacy that you guys have. Is there Archers 2 coming along from the progeny?
We hope so.
There's
There could be
there's
some
just
that can-
there's a lot of talent there and a lot of ministry. It's based on ministry, but who knows? I'm not the kind of parent, and I don't think they are either, that is over here trying to push them a certain way. It's God use them because they have wonderful gifts and they have great hearts. So who knows? Who knows? I know one of my grandsons was just on stage recently worshiping with Carrie Job. And singing with her. So that was a proud moment for me.
I want to thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
I want to thank Logan and Amanda for letting me slip in here.
What a surprise.
I want to thank them
surprise for
too
all
for
of
letting.
I know.
Man, you
Thank you, Logan. What a
shocked my
gift.
socks off,
I
brother. It's so
know.
good to see you.
And thank you for the role you played in our journey.
Yes.
Yes, John.
Thank you, John.
You were a
Your
huge
friendship.
supporter. If people only knew.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, right there.
All right.
We should be getting your autograph, John.
CCM Mag.
When the cameras go off, the stories we're going to tell people.